Welcome to the Autodromo de Interlagos, the spiritual home of breathtaking corners, intense rivalries, and, if you're in a Corvette, moments of sheer existential dread. This track doesn't care about your feelings, your hopes, or your plans for pole position. It exists to test your nerves, your tires, and your willingness to overuse the throttle. And we've got 18 minutes to wrestle this rebellious beast of a car into something that resembles a competitive qualifying lap. It's simple on paper. One car, one track, and one goal. Set the fastest time possible. But, like everything at Interlagos, simplicity is for fools. The corners are tight, the straights are deceptive, and there's always a looming possibility that a beetle will out-qualify you just to ruin your day. It's less about precision and more about survival, and rest assured, this Corvette is not here to make things easy. Let's get to it, shall we? As we approach turn 10, the Audi ahead, piloted by Ayrton Senna, yes, their online name, gracefully lets us pass before turn 11. Whether it's strategy, sportsmanship, or sheer self-preservation to avoid lap drama, we're now leading. The Corvette charges forward, and for the first time in this session, Interlagos feels a little more forgiving, momentarily. Lap 3 and disaster strikes. Our once glorious first place vanishes, stolen away by some speed-hungry, lap-hoarding menace. It's not just a loss, it's a personal attack. The Corvette, once the king of Interlagos, is now demoted to second, its ego bruised and its driver utterly betrayed. But it's fine, it's recoverable, or so we think. Boom, third place. The Corvette tumbles further down the rankings, and suddenly, our qualifying session has turned into an episode of how quickly can you fall from grace. With 14 minutes and 30 seconds left, we're in a full-blown crisis. Time to drive like our dignity depends on it. Because, frankly, it does. And the stakes couldn't be higher. Third place isn't where champions sit. It's where excuses are born. The Corvette, now growling with a hint of frustration, charges through the corners as we push to reclaim what's rightfully ours. There's no time for self-pity, just a track ahead, rivals to beat, and a point to prove. Down to fourth, and honestly, the driver's strategy seems to be hope for the best. The Corvette's holding up, but the amateur behind the wheel might need a refresher on how qualifying works. Fifth place, because clearly, fourth wasn't humiliating enough. The Corvette is still giving everything it has, but the leaderboard tells a different story. At this rate, we'll be qualifying for a parking spot instead of pole position. Just what we needed. Senna S, holding steady and into cover due Sol. The Corvette shows some fight, but as we hit Red O Pasta, the leaderboard delivers yet another punch to the gut. We're down to 6. It's like gravity itself is dragging us through rankings. At this rate, we'll need a miracle or a traffic jam on the track to save the session. Corvette battles for the final lap. every twist and turn feeling heavier under the shadow of a 1-second penalty. The mistake was glaring, and the repercussions are merciless. Erased from the video, but impossible to forget. As the car storms through cover do so, there's a lingering sense of dread. The leaderboard remains silent, and the penalty waits like a ticking time bomb, ready to decide whether the session ends in triumph or humiliation. The Corvette charges past the descent of the lake, its engine howling like it's begging for redemption. Every corner feels tighter, every apex more critical. Heading into curve with a little orange, the weight of that 1-second penalty hangs over us like a storm cloud, ready to break. It's not just a mistake. It's a blunder that could redefine this entire session. The car grips the tarmac, fighting through each bend, the final judgment looming somewhere beyond the horizon. The Corvette storms to the duck's beak, every move calculated, yet burdened by the ever-present penalty hanging like a guillotine overhead. The tires bite the tarmac as the car claws for every ounce of speed, sliding out a tight corner and heading into the final sector. The tension is palpable. This isn't driving, it's survival. The penalty unravels in its make-or-break time, and the stakes have never been higher. Six, that's it. Not exactly the stuff of legends, is it? I mean, it's hardly worth the wear on the tires. The Corvette, bless it, fought valiantly, but the end result? 6th place. Tucked somewhere behind glory and just ahead of irrelevance. It's like turning up for a dinner party only to find out you're seated next to the cutlery drawer, present, but barely noticeable. Still, we're on the grid. Let's see what the driver can manage when it's time for the actual race. Assuming they remember which way the track goes. The same madman in Mercedes, yes, the Nürburgring menace, gives a Lamborghini a gentle nudge. Gentle, in the way a wrecking ball is gentle with a brick wall. The Lambo spins out in spectacular fashion, and before we know it, we're right in the thick of it, slamming straight into the chaos. What a start. Utter carnage. The officials have had enough. The Mercedes finally gets slapped with a penalty for its reckless tap on the Lamborghini. As they process their punishment, we barrel into turn 4. Still picking our way through the chaos left behind. The Corvette presses on, determined to stay in the fight despite the messy start. Just as the Mercedes settles into its penalty misery, we manage to notice we overcooked turn 4 by going too wide, earning ourselves a penalty to even things out. Brilliant. Despite the setback, the Corvette pushes on. The battle isn't over yet. Serve our half-second penalty, manage to get past the reckless Mercedes and plant the throttle, hoping to secure some breathing room. But just as we start to dream of pulling ahead, the McLaren swoops in. Not one to back down, the Corvette dives to the inside. We clip the McLaren at the center S and veer off to the left. A messy situation unfolds. The chaos continues as the Mercedes rear-ends us, using the contact to slingshot past. From bad to worse, our race just took another hit, literally. As we approach turn 4 again, the Corvette teeters on the edge of another penalty, just a hair away from disaster. Meanwhile, the Mercedes has apparently decided to ban the race entirely and focus on harassing Ayrton Senna himself. It's turning into less of a race and more of a soap opera on wheels. The Mercedes surges ahead of the Audi, wasting no time in targeting the car in front. It starts bumping the rear aggressively, pushing boundaries yet again. Smoke begins to rise, whether from the tires, the exhaust, or sheer frustration. It's hard to say. The chaos shows no signs of letting up, and the Mercedes seems determined to be the center of it all. inside of the Senna S, tailing the Audi with the player hilariously named Ayrton Senna. But Senna defends a line perfectly, shutting us out. As we press on, we catch glimpses of Mercedes ahead, still intent on turning the race into a bumper car showdown. It's chaos, it's strategy, and it's a spectacle. It's wheel-to-wheel action heading into turn 4, as we edge past McLaren in a bold move. But the McLaren isn't done yet, diving to the inside of the very next turn, reclaiming position with authority. Realizing discretion is the better part of valor, we back out to regroup. The battle rages on. The Lamborghini sneaks through the inside of turn 8, catching us completely off guard. Lap 4 kicks off, and the Corvette is on the hunt. The car ahead sits tantalizingly beyond reach, like a chocolate cake just out of arm's length. But we're clawing at the gap, steadily working the corners with precision, while keeping one eye on the chaos up front. Somewhere ahead, the Mercedes, predictably, is driving like it's auditioning for a demolition derby, while the Lamborghini defends its position, as though its life depends on it. The Corvette, however, is focused, determined to play the long game. Every move counts now. Every corner brings us closer. And the strategy is simple. Stay patient, keep the pressure on, and wait for the slightest hint of weakness in the pack ahead. With each turn, the anticipation builds. The stakes are high, and the fight to climb up the order has only just begun. Glorious stuff, isn't it? As lap 4 ends, we dive to the inside of the Senna S, sticking right on the McLaren's tail. They hold their ground, but we stay close, biding our time. Heading into turn 4, we make our move, darting inside once again. This time, it's clean, it's precise, and we finally get past. Brilliant stuff. Lap 11 ends somehow, against all odds or perhaps pure stubbornness. We clawed our way from 10th to 8th. Progress? Sure. Glory? Not quite. Our tires, which at this point are more emotionally distressed than physically worn, have decided that grip is a vague suggestion rather than a rule. Performance? A shadow of its former self. And as if things weren't bad enough, the Mercedes has arrived on the scene like a house guest who overstays their welcome. It's lingering behind us, behaving exactly like that infamous Beetle of the Nürburgring, pestering everyone in sight, refusing to act like it's a race, and probably making enemies faster than overtakes. Smoke's starting to rise, chaos is brewing, and the Corvette's holding on by sheer determination or sheer stubbornness. Honestly, it's hard to tell which. Turns out, the Mercedes have been handed a penalty we didn't even notice, probably off doing our own interpretation of what racing means. So there we are, defending the inside line like warriors, entirely unaware they're not even a factor anymore. Still, the Corvette holds firm, battling with whoever's actually still on our radar. Blind determination? Perhaps. Effective? Absolutely. And here we are, the final lap, with the Mercedes proving it simply won't go quietly. despite their earlier penalty, which, frankly, felt like the universe begging them to calm down. They've somehow fought their way back past McLaren. Now, they're on us again, clinging to our rear like that one fly that refuses to leave you alone at a barbecue. It all comes down to this. The final turn at Interlagos. The Corvette, determined to hold its ground, claims the inside line and slams the door shut on the Mercedes with all the grace of an angry bouncer. The Mercedes, desperate as ever, tries every trick in the book to sneak past, but we're having none of it. We hold them off all the way through, crossing in 8th place with style, grit, and a well-earned victory in this relentless race. Defensive racing at its finest. 8th place never looked so spectacular. Chaos, drama, and just enough skill to survive it all. Subscribe, like, and I'll see you next time, assuming we're not all penalized before then. Goodbye.